are live. Hello, welcome everyone again to our mobile app for mobile app redesign for developer series, where we have our special guest. Looks like Brandon is having some technical issues, but he's gonna be right back. So today if you notice, we are in a different day of the week actually. We have started a new, how could we say, basically a new idea, basically, right? So,
and I'm back.
Oh, and he's back.
My bad. I hit the wrong button. My computer burns up a ton of resources when you do the streaming, because it's got to do the HD video and audio, and then also stream or beam that all up to the cloud. And so sometimes my battery doesn't even though I'm plugged in, my battery will go down because I'm just on a laptop. And so
mine does.
I was trying to close like my browser tabs, get everything calmed down. And it turns out when you close the browser tab before you're streaming, then you're not streaming anymore.
Exactly. Well, welcome back. So I was saying that we have another episode with our special guest Brandon Minnick. He just came back. And I was also saying that if you guys notice, we are in a different day of the week. Today is Wednesday, and basically we are trying a new concept. We noticed that we have a ton of work ahead of us. And we're trying.
Don't say it like that.
Yeah. So we were trying to push out these 3 features completely live and do it only one day a week. But we actually noticed that it was not gonna be doable if we want to do it in the next 1 to 2 months.
Yeah.
Because
if we wanted to wait a year for the next release, then
exactly. Yeah, if we wanted to do it in a timely manner, we needed another day, because as we mentioned last session, something really important before releasing something and working in this type of project is first doing a good analysis, right, of what you want to work on and what is the feature gonna be like. Think through. You have to really think how you're gonna code your solution and how you're gonna architect it. So when you actually do it, you're not gonna be having to refactor stuff, and it's actually gonna be, a straight shot. So that's also a different type of work that you should do when you are working with this type of project that sometimes get underestimated, and we're guilty, I guess.
And we did.
Yep. So the plan is on Wednesdays, we're going to be doing these sessions, which are going to be brainstorming. And basically, we're going to focus on doing mock-ups, on thinking throughout what the feature is going to look like. Basically, how could we say this, Brandon? In Spanish, we say plantear nuestras ideas. In English, it will be like...
planning something.
Yeah, it's like turning your ideas into reality, right? Seeing them. So that's what we first have to do. Create some mockups, write some of the phrases we want to use for example, in the empty states we're gonna be doing today, and get stuff more structured. And just on Friday, when we get to Friday, it's gonna be completely just live coding with Brandon, and hopefully everything will go more fluently, and we can probably wrap up these 3 features in the next 4 weeks or 5 weeks. Ooh. Right?
That'd be exciting.
Yeah.
And that's exactly how I've been thinking about it, because the Wednesday shows won't just be... it'll all be design, but it won't just be UI design, because there's also, like you said, there's code design too. So you have to... architect your code before you go and execute the new, or bring in the new features. And so Wednesdays won't, it's not like we're not doing any code on Wednesdays. We'll still be coding, but we're more looking at code and thinking about things like, oh shoot, if we add this new feature here, maybe that should be in its own class, or maybe that we should turn this into a service, and then how do we incorporate that into our dependency injection, or whatever might come up. We'll still be talking about code on Wednesdays, but Fridays will be reserved for doing it. We are writing code on Fridays. and that's kind of what we've been missing the last couple weeks. We've been live streaming for a couple months now. Yep. And the Fridays have kind of been a mix of planning the UI, architecting the code, writing the code. Last week, even when we were writing code, we found other bugs that we were able to squash, which awesome.
Yep.
But yeah, being able to stay focused on one thing on Fridays, I think, will be hugely beneficial for for us and for getting these new features into the app. So fingers crossed.
Totally agree. So right now I'm just going through our social media in the community and posting that we are live. I see we already have a viewer in the chat. If you could go ahead and confirm if our audio is working fine and video is okay, we're not lagging. So I'll go ahead and start sharing in the community so we can start attracting our attendees, right? So in the meantime, maybe Brandon, you can talk a little bit about what we're gonna be seeing today. I think I have it in the agenda of the meetup, but also I think it's in the GitHub issue as well. Let me send you the link to the agenda.
So yeah, I'm gonna first, let's see, I'm gonna share my screen, and I want to do a shameful or shameless, I guess, promotion, because I have been working on a new tool that I haven't told anybody about this yet. So you're hearing it here first. And it fits into all this because I'm using it for GitTrends. But let's see, let's bring it up, make the browser zoom in a little bit. So I've made a new tool called Github Api Status. And what this is essentially a nougatized version of a lot of things that we've been doing in the GitTrends app. And it's a lot of, let's say, learning on my side about how does the GitHub API work? How do you manage it in our C# code? And I've been obviously going very deep down the rabbit hole of the GitHub API to work with its REST API, work with its GraphQL API. And I've also been working on an internal project at Microsoft that also leverages the GitHub API. So I'm kind of like the GitHub API guy. And I found myself rewriting a bunch of code that I had written for GitTrends for interacting with the GitHub API, rewriting that in the internal tool. And then, there's a third project. In this app, there's even a mobile app here. I should show it off in the code. But basically, I had 3 projects all using the GitHub APIs, and was copy pasting code. So what I did, I made this GitHub API status NuGet package. I just released version 1 pre-1 to NuGet.
Nice.
And I'm actually working on the next release soon, but the whole reason this exists, why does this exist? It's not gonna. I'm not making a GitHub SDK for you. Those already exist. The GitHub API team, or the GitHub team, has already created .NET SDKs for GitHub. What I'm talking about is dealing with GitHub's API rate limits. So this is something that has been, I wouldn't really call it an issue, but something that we've been constantly aware of while working on GitTrends. And so the GitHub API only lets you make 5,000 requests per hour whenever you are authenticated. So if you're not authenticated, it limits you to 60 requests per hour. But if you are, Visual Studio Update. Oh, I do want it, but we'll wait till after the stream. So So right, you can only make 5,000 requests per hour. Now with GitTrends, the average user won't hit that because the average user will load the app. The app makes a couple API requests to get the list of your repos, and then it makes another couple API requests to get the trends data. So your stars, your views, your clones, all the stuff we see on the screen, that's just coming from the GitHub API. We're not doing anything other than just making a pretty UI to display data that we get from the GitHub API. But where this issue pops up the most for me is in testing. So if I'm running unit tests and integration tests and UI tests, I hit this 5,000 requests per hour really quickly because I'm launching, refreshing the app tons and tons of times, whereas the average user probably won't hit this. But this pops up all the time in testing. So I need to be able to write my tests in a way that they wouldn't fail if I was reaching this API limit. And so GitHub has all these headers that they include in the response that you get back anytime you make a GitHub API request, and they'll let you know how many requests you're permitted to make, how many requests you have remaining. Because this is hourly, it'll reset the numbers every hour, so it'll also give you that time. So what I made was this NuGet package, Github Api Status, that you can just pass in those response headers. So anytime you make a request and you want to know the rate limit, then it'll parse those headers for the X rate limit header and return it as an int. Or if you want to know things like how much time you have remaining, it'll give you back a time span. And it'll do all this because it's not that it's hard, but it's not super intuitive. Like this reset time is in UTC epoch seconds, which I was familiar with the Linux epoch and I was familiar with UTC, but I didn't know what like UTC epoch seconds was. Turns out it's the number of seconds since the Linux epoch, which was January 1st, 1970, because that was like the day computers were born. But, you know, how do you do that? How do you parse that? Like, how do you parse a header in C#? How do you get that value back as a long? How do you then turn that long into a time span or a datetime object? Like, basically, it's just a cool library that we can use to always easily handle and interpret our responses from GitHub to know if we're going to hit these maximum API request limits. And I've got another version I'm working on because I just found out that the GitHub API itself actually has an API that returns back all this data. And let's see, I don't know if I've updated the docs yet. I have not, but this one will be kind of cool. Let's see, what branch am I on? Yeah. Make all this bigger. So I'm going to add in another API in this library called the Get API rate limits. And that's because while making this library, I learned maximum, let's see. GitHub has an API that you can hit and it doesn't count against you. It doesn't count towards your 5,000 hourly limit. And this API, let's see, is /rate limit. And it also gives you back all of the data for every API. So this is something that I recently just learned because when I heard about GitHub's rate limit, I assumed it was total. So I figured if I was making a call to the REST API and then I made another call to the GitHub API, that was 2 API requests and that would be 2 towards my total 5,000. Well, it turns out the GraphQL API is counted separately from the REST API. And because GraphQL is different, like with GraphQL, you can get a huge response back depending on what you're asking for. Well, they also treat it differently. So one call to the GitHub GraphQL API isn't just going to be one request. If you ask for 500 repos in that request, that'll turn into, they call them points. And so that'll turn into like 500 request points. So all these cool things I'm learning about the GitHub API, I wanted to roll into a NuGet package because selfishly, we need them in GitTrends. And I need them for a couple more tools I'm working on internally at Microsoft. But why not put it in a NuGet package, share it with the world. So if anybody else wants to use the GitHub APIs in .NET, you can just have this easy library that you can just call get API rate limits, and it'll return all the values for you. And like we can see here, I've got a little sample console app here, which this is also going to support .NET 5, or does support .NET 5. So I'm also taking advantage of system.text.json. So it's been a cool learning experience for me playing around with that stuff. But yeah, what you get back is like, if you just call the get API rate limits API, then it'll give you all the values. So for the REST API, for the GraphQL API, and I didn't know this, but GitHub has a search API, GitHub has a source import API, they've got a manifest configuration API, they've got a code scanning upload API. I didn't even know those existed, but those are separate APIs and they have their own rate limits. And so, this is a library that I know I'm going to be using, and we are actually using now in GitTrends. And if you're doing any work with the GitHub APIs, check it out. Highly recommend it.
It's really nice. Let me get that link for the chat so they can check that out. Really, yeah, it's actually really helpful because I remember when you were testing, you were telling me, there's always this case where you're hitting the rate limit, and now you created this, which is gonna help us a ton. I'll definitely use this if I have a project as well with GitHub, because it makes total sense.
Heck yeah! And so it's also been fun because I've you know me, man. I like to over-engineer and over-optimize things, and so it's a multi-targeted project that targets .NET Standard 1.3, .NET Standard 2.0, .NET Core 3.0, and .NET 5. And
nice.
The reason I did that is the lowest I could go in .NET Standard was 1.3 because of the way .NET Standard was designed. HTTP response headers as a class wasn't introduced till 1.3. So 1.1, and then the other part was the date time conversion to Unix epoch seconds and back and forth. That was added in .NET Standard 1.3. So 1.3 is as low as I could go. But then with .NET Standard 1.3, I had to include Newtonsoft.json as a dependency. And so what I found with Newtonsoft.json is it has different dependencies between .NET Standard 1.3 and .NET Standard 2.0. So also supporting .NET Standard 2, so that you don't need the .NET Standard 1.3 Newtonsoft.json dependencies. And then with .NET Core 3 introducing system.text.json, we could totally remove any dependencies, so we wouldn't need Newtonsoft.json. And so by targeting .NET Core 3 as well, then you don't need to bring in any external dependencies. So I don't know, man. I've been having a lot of fun with it.
Nice.
Like I said, it's probably way over-engineered, but we're using it in GitTrends. We're using it maybe I'll show you. Let me share on my screen again because I can show you exactly the perfect use case for this. And yeah, I'm super biased because I wrote the library and I wrote this in GitTrends. But when you retrieve, where's my repository view model? So when you ask it to get you all of the repositories, this is, so essentially when you do a pull to refresh in our app, it's all inside this try catch block. And one of the things we catch is this exception where if you've reached that maximum API call limit, if you've reached the maximum API call limit, then we display a little message that says something like, FYI, you've reached this maximum API call limit, and here's a link to the GitHub docs to learn more. Like, sorry, it's not our fault. Wish we could do something about it. And so here, I had all this logic here to parse the headers and do all that stuff. But now this is just using, well, I added in a little bit because I'm using, I'm passing in the exception, but the exceptions have the headers. And then this is just using that library we're just looking at. So this is, I don't know what this is going to look like. Okay, cool. So yeah, now this is in the NuGet package, and this is where it can parse all those headers and stuff. So, so yeah, just by putting it in NuGet package, I can leverage it here in GitTrends by just saying, have you reached the maximum API call limit? And if you have, then we can handle this. We can pass through this maximum API request reached event args, blah, 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 clear out the repositories because we shouldn't be showing anything if we were unable to connect to the API and all that fun stuff. So keep an eye on this. It'll be going live, really, really live, like not pre-release live, probably, hopefully later this week. And I'm planning on writing a whole blog post on it to share it with the world and show you how you can leverage it as well.
Nice. So when you publish that, let us know, and we will share it in the meetup page as well, so they can go and see all that great information you're gonna share in your blog post.
Yeah, it's the official NuGet package of GitTrends.
Yep. Okay, so let me come here now and let me see where StreamYard is so I can share my screen. Share screen 1.
Yeah.
And there we go. Now we should be able to see the Adobe XD project of GitTrends. And let me grab the agenda so we know what we're gonna be doing. Let's come here. I'll just put it in the Adobe XD project so we don't need like to be switching between apps. Let's hide this over here and let's zoom in a little bit over here.
Nice.
So today the first things we're gonna be seeing is basically the empty states we're gonna be needing for our star tracker page, right? We prior in our past session we discussed that we're gonna have 2 empty states. It will be nice to have 2. One for when we have 0 stars, and that empty state, we said that we could probably put like a phrase to it that it's basically a call to action for the user. So maybe a phrase that tells him, hey, you should share more your repo and get people to at least give you your first star or something like that. We have to think about the phrases, but yeah, that's gonna be a part of the session as well. The second empty state is gonna be for 1 star because remember, if we have our chart over here. On the past session, we noticed this edge case, right? And is that if we have only 1 star, we're gonna have the same chart we're trying to avoid, which is the chart that basically, let me do a brief sample here. Yeah, it's pretty easy. This is why we are avoiding this chart because it's literally gives you no information whatsoever. So yeah, this is our chart.
That's your 1 star chart. Just a straight line going across horizontal.
Yeah, let me put the 1 here just to be more perfect. There you go. So this is the chart we're gonna be having if we allow 1 star chart, right? And this actually doesn't look that good because it doesn't give you much information, right? So we're thinking of making also an empty state for 1 star, and in this empty state we're going to show a motivational message. So notice the difference between the 0 star and 1 star. So in the 1 star we already assume that you did some effort, right, to share your repo and someone liked it. So we just want to motivate the user to keep on going, keep on working on his repo and sharing it with his community, right? And after we're finished with those 2 empty states, we're gonna start looking into working on the mockup for the stats, for the star stats header. So what is that header? It's basically the information we're gonna have on top of our star chart, right? So at first, initially, we were talking about having sort of like this header, like yellow background with maybe the total stars the repo has so far, and give him another motivational message on the bottom, like keep it up, and maybe put some infographics here, right? That are related to the stars. This was the initial draft. This is not definitive, so today we're gonna revisit it and see what other adjustments we can do, and if this actually is gonna work, or does it look funny, and what can we do there, right? We're also gonna be covering the tabs here, because that's included in the header. This was the first proposal. We're gonna decide if we actually like it, if we should do it some other way. So yeah, we're gonna be working on that after our empty states. And last but not least, we're gonna be also working on polishing a little bit more the how do you say this, Brandon?
Axis.
The axis
Yep.
of the chart, because Brandon already started some of the work. If you guys remember in the last session, before we used to have like everything by week, right, Brandon?
Yeah, because the trends chart is always 2 weeks of data, and that's just because GitHub only stores 2 weeks of data, so we only get 2 weeks of data from the GitHub APIs. And so we were playing around with like what's the proper range, because we want this chart to be informative at a glance. So if you can't just glance at the chart and see that the stars have flatlined, or see that your stars are going up exponentially, then we've done something wrong. And so try to figure out like what those date ranges should be, how many stars should we show you, like what if your repo, because GitHub's been around for 10 years, 20 years. So you can have a repo that's at least 10 years old and with 10,000 stars on it. And should we show you all 10 years? Do you care about the stars you got 9 years ago? Probably not. So figuring that out. And then the y-axis, like we can set the intervals. So we could have 10 stars in between tick marks. We could have 1 star, whatever. Just basically, what does it look like, and how do we convey the current star status or recent star history to you at a glance? Like if I find myself needing to look at the date range, or needing to look at the y-axis range every time, then we've done something wrong. And I just want to be able to look at it and be like, oh, yep, trending up. Good. Look at it. Oh, wait, I haven't gotten a star in 2 years. Didn't know that. Like, helpful at a glance.
Exactly. And that should basically cover everything we're going to be seeing today in regards to design. But remember, as Brandon said, we're going to be seeing all of this mockup that we're going to be doing, but we're also going to be seeing a little bit of the code to, like, for example, for the access part, right? We want to see right away while we're making the decisions, like how should we format them. It's going to be easier to see them directly in the code and running it in the simulator than just creating all the variations here.
And plus, Syncfusion has a lot of, we have to work within the Syncfusion library. So if Syncfusion limits us to, maybe we can't show 10 stars on every tick mark reliably, then we'll have to, we want to know that sooner so that we can adjust the UI and UX to it. Because if we come up with the design today and we say, this is great, this is exactly what we go with, and then on Friday we try to implement it, it's like, well, turns out that's impossible. Then, you kind of hit that point where, and I'm sure you've hit this at work, where like the designer's like, no, this is the design and we have to do it. And you're like, that's going to take me a week. Or we could just call it good enough and move on. And
Yep.
Those battles at work are always the worst. But yeah, if we can, like as developers, we can play around with the library at the same time we make the design and just make our lives easier.
Yeah.
That's what this is all about, right?
Yeah, that's the whole point of...
We made GitTrends to make our lives easier. So...
Yep. And that's the whole point of like mocking it up, and always we have the advantage of that we are the same developers that are implementing it, so we can play around with the components we're going to use in the design, thinking ahead. Okay, I have this available already out of the box, let's just use this instead of like making something fancy that might complicate the implementation, right? So definitely. Yeah, should we then start with the empty states, right?
Yeah, let's jump right into it.
All right. So
we have nothing for this.
Exactly. Well, so okay, since we're going to start with the empty states, I'm going to come and duplicate this over here. Let's grab this, select this one. Okay. Give me a second here.
You could probably...
Okay, I'll have
you can copy paste the other
trends
one.
Ah, that's true. Yeah.
That'll at least give us the spacing for the headers and stuff. Even though we've only like half designed the header. But I will say I don't hate our current mockup for the star setter. Like,
yeah,
because what else are you gonna put there? Like we could do a regressional like trend line and be like, your stars have gone up 8.3% to the fourth power. Like, I just don't know. Like, total stars is probably about it, and then like a motivational message. But
yep, yeah,
we'll figure that out. Hopefully today. Yep. Hopefully we can knock all this out.
Yeah, I'm confident in us that we're gonna achieve this by today. Let's put this over here. So okay, this is our empty states for star tracker. I can just say empty states b2 and then just do all the empty states we eventually need over here. That way we don't need to be redoing a lot of stuff.
Oh, so by the way, we mentioned earlier that we found some bugs in the Friday episode, and we had chatted about like, well, what's next, right? We're going to push these to the iOS and Android app stores so users don't experience these bugs in the wild. And the easy answer was yes, but then I found there's like two other things that are blocking me from pushing out an update. And one is we lost the Android search bar. Either I haven't nailed this one down yet. I spent hours on it over the weekend. But it's either something like either Xamarin Forms has updated its rendering steps so that I'm adding the search bar and then Xamarin Forms is overwriting it. So that's one possibility. The other possibility is that targeting Android R or Android R changed something. So when I targeted Android R, that introduced something new and that changed things. But I tried just to like step back and target only Android Q, and it didn't change anything. So my quick and dirty hack was going to be like just downgrade, like drop targeting Android R to Android Q, and then if it just works, I can push it out, and then we can have Android updated with the new bug fixes. But couldn't get past that. So yeah, if anybody knows anything about status, the Android status bar, and adding a search bar into that menu bar, let me know, because I struggled with that mightily, like I said, for like a couple hours, and confident I can figure it out. But I'm also kind of bummed because I wrote a whole blog post about how to do it, and now this blog post is kind of moot. So yeah, I'm hoping it's something that's kind of an easy fix that once I figure it out, I can just go update that blog post. But we'll find out, man.
Because you updated GitTrends to the latest Xamarin Forms version, right?
It's not on the pre-releases, but yeah, the latest stable, so 4.8 dot whatever. And so the other bug is the indicator view. So that little dot at the bottom of the page we see here.
Yeah.
Samir helped us open up an issue for that last Friday. And I can get that to work. Basically, it's a layout problem with Xamarin Forms. And so if you just have a layout that is exactly the size of your indicator view, then you can basically make that hack work. But before I dove into like creating that hack, because I know the Xamarin Forms team is working on it. They're going to fix it. They're both going to backport the fix to 4.8 and include the fix in 5.0 of Xamarin Forms. And so we have two choices. Like I can wait for them to fix it, or I can do that hack and basically push a release at the App Store with the hack in place, remove the hack once Xamarin Forms fixes it. But yeah, man, if I can't get the Android search bar working, then
I mean,
there's kind of no point for me to start hacking.
Yeah, and the bug is not that critical. It's just a text that disappeared. So I don't think, like, I think we have time if we can like wait for an update, or maybe finish this, and once we finish the features, we can maybe tackle that to do the next release. But
yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Like, yeah, the two bugs we fixed. One was we were missing the text on the empty view for the referring sites page. And so looking at the metrics, not every user visits the referring sites page every time they launch the app. So the odds of a user visiting the referring sites page is around like 15% of the time. And then the odds of them having no data in that referring sites page
exactly
makes that even lower. So most folks probably aren't ever going to see that bug, which is good. And then the other bug was what I was talking about earlier, and why I made that whole GitHub API status library was I didn't realize the GraphQL API rate limit was handled differently. And we were live on the stream just trying to like refresh the app, and it was like error. And it's like, well, that's weird. It's just giving me a generic error. That shouldn't happen. And it turns out that I had hit my GraphQL API rate limit, but GitTrends had only been checking the REST API rate limit. And so that's fixed. But again, like how many users are going to max out the GraphQL API rate limit with 5,000 requests in an hour?
Exactly.
Probably not many. There's probably only maybe one person who's ever even seen that warning message. And so yeah, the bugs we fixed aren't critical. Like it's only going to be a point release. So that's why I didn't feel too bad not rushing through it and staying up till 3 a.m. trying to fix the Android toolbar and all that fun stuff.
Yeah. So coming back here to Adobe XD, what I basically did was I just cloned a couple of canvases so we can work on the empty states. I try to imitate like what the header we have right now, because the chart is gonna appear basically on this position, and I just wanted to have like a reference of the space we're leaving for the header, right? So then we can work from the header down. Something I noticed right away, because I try so all the empty states in GitTrends right now, we only have one view for empty states, and we're reusing it, right? Changing the text and changing the image resource we're using. So that's why when doing the mockup, it's important that you take that into account. If you know this is a view we're reusing, and maybe we're also having the same spacing between, like it's always in the same position in the screen, right? Try and reflect that, because that also it's also a good thing that we're doing that, because it keeps like consistency throughout the screen, right? Because if we go to the trends section in this page now, and the trends stats have their empty state, and let's say the empty state for the trends, let's do it here. Let's say this empty state is like this, and then you switch to the star one, and the star one is like down here, it looks like the app is like broken, right? Because it's like you're moving around the same component. So always have that in mind. Try and keep those like components that are doing the same thing in the same position in the screen if you're gonna be seeing them one after the other.
Yeah, because even like Luis mentioned, I've done some work playing around with the new star chart, and so the way I architected that was I basically made a base class. So we have a like base trends page, and that is our Xamarin Forms content page where you just essentially pass in the chart and the header that you want, and it uses the same grid layout. So yeah, the amount of space we've allocated for the header is going to be the same for both the views and clones chart and the stars chart. This empty data view will be in the same place for both of them, and so all of that will line up. And yeah, it's definitely very important because after you use an app for a while, you don't necessarily even realize it, but you come to expect things like certain things should be in a certain position, and your eye just kind of based on muscle memory will just be drawn to a specific location on the screen. And so yeah, if we did something crazy on this page where we put the chart for the stars on top and the header on the bottom, I guess that'd be a footer, like that'll just blow people's minds. And it won't, you're going to use the app and you'll figure it out, but you won't get that feel good feeling. Like it doesn't look familiar to you. And so yeah, definitely important to keep everything aligned, which hopefully we've got that little bit of architecture in place with the base class that does the same layout. But I think the only thing I would also add here is that yes, we do have that empty data view with the text and the image, but the only thing we're missing in the mockups is the empty data view has a title text, and I think I call it description text, and an image. And so we can basically have like a title and a description if we want to say like
so you have it
this
like
could
this.
be where we this could be where we put that motivational message, right? So like the title can be no stars yet, and then the description or the body and smaller text below it can say something like whatever we just say, like reach out to your friends, or maybe like we say like tweet GitTrends app on Twitter and we'll promote it, like, or we'll star it. I don't know. Like,
yep.
But yeah, we can take advantage of that existing layout to kind of slide that motivational message there. Or like the header has the header has text as well. So maybe the motivational message goes in the header. So like, we're not going to say keep it up, 0 stars. That's kind of mean.
Yeah. They'll be like, okay, I'm out. This app is trolling me.
Or heck, dude, we could use a combination of both. Like we could say something like no stars yet in the header, and then the empty data view says whatever the motivational message is. Like, share your repo with friends and to get more stars, or
okay.
Or come on the .NET Dominicana meetup to show off your cool repo.
Yep. So there, let me see. I think it should be like something like this, I think. Wait. Sorry, I'm just trying to get what you explained that we have in the code, so we can like work around that, right? So it should look something like this. This is probably 24. This is gonna be 16. Yeah, we can leave it like this for now, and this should be regular. So the title could probably be, let's see, maybe bold, and text, yeah, the description regular. Or maybe we can bump it up to medium, but for now we can just play with it like that. No, regular looks good. Okay. So we have our starting point. The first thing I like to look for when I'm doing this type of design, so we already know that the phrases is gonna be it shouldn't be, but it's gonna be for us the hardest part, because we have to start thinking about motivational stuff to say, right? Channel our inner poets, I guess.
That's right.
So I suggest we start with looking for what infographic we're gonna use here, right? And to do that, we can actually use our favorite page to look for assets, which is on draw, right? So we're gonna come here, and the first empty state we are working on is the one with 0 stars. So we have to find an illustration which gives that feeling that the user has no stars, or something like, like it's empty. So let me first put stars and see what comes up regarding stars.
Yeah, or even if there's one for like getting started, because if you have 0 stars, it's probably because it's a new repo, and
let's see.
I don't know what a getting start. Just the React
start. Maybe start. Okay, so let's do this. Does this save the query on the top? No. Okay, so let's write down some of the keywords we're gonna be looking for, right? Let's put it here. Start. And maybe empty will throw something good as well.
Sure.
Let's see. So let's start with getting started.
Yeah. Like the runner one is kind of cool, but it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
Like he's at the starting line. So
but of what?
I get, yeah, and then like that flower, the back. Like,
maybe we could like modify it and put like little stars on the bottom, or something like 2 stars or something like that.
Ooh.
Yeah, like that's another thing. We can get an illustration and maybe add something to it and make it say what we want to say, right? Because we have since it's an SVG, we can combine them together as well. So yeah, we have to keep that in mind as well.
Or if there's something like somebody's standing at the beginning of a path, and maybe we put like picturing almost like a windy sidewalk, and then there's stars on the sidewalk, almost like the Hollywood Walk of Fame kind of stars.
Yeah, that's nice.
Something like you're just getting started on your journey.
Yeah, that one.
But that's also very specific. So
yeah, but that's a good idea. Like we can now narrow it to maybe a path or someone walking. And based on that, we can. Oh, okay. We have something here. So this guy is running. He has a little chart. We can take away the chart. Maybe put the stars on the bottom. Let's see if we find anything else.
I mean, the space theme is kind of clever.
Yeah, I really like this one.
There's probably something there, because then like the motivational message could be something about like, I don't know, reaching for the stars or something.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Like he's like looking at a ton of repos stored, and we can put like, hey, you could have one of these. Just put in the effort. Yeah, this one is good too. Okay, let me start putting some of the ones we like over here.
The person in that, like he looks like it looks like that person's about to begin their journey. So like, if we wanted to custom make that, we'll call it the Hollywood Walk of Fame star sidewalk. Like the person from that looking out, like that could be the person we drop into the sidewalk.
Yeah, True.
So, yeah, like basically reusing parts of these.
Yeah, definitely. We can do that. Where is the other one I saw? So are we still considering something from the runner or no?
No,
Okay.
I don't like the running analogy because
Yeah.
you got to walk before you run.
Exactly. Okay, so this guy is kind of gray, which is not gonna work.
Too.
But it's not gonna work if he's like with the gray t-shirt. Remember, we have a gray background. Like even here, you see how it blends.
Right.
So let's maybe try and modify him right away, so we can then later consider him. Let's put him the same t-shirt as the other guy.
Sure.
And is this white or gray? Let me see.
It's a lighter shade than the background of XD. So it's.
I think it's gonna
work. It does
work.
look white.
Yeah, let's see. Let me put it a little bit smaller and see. Yeah, it works in our background. Okay. All right. Control C.
Put that.
Yeah. Okay, we have two there. Let's see what else can we find. So you said this one maybe, right? Or no?
No, because I don't want somebody running.
Yeah. We need someone walking.
Like walking at the most.
Or getting started. Yeah. Or
like
visualizing something.
Or even like that rocket going up could be kind of cool. Where
this one,
like combine the rocket with
the guy looking at the that one is nice.
And then it's like, there's a motivational message there somewhere about start your journey to the stars, or
here it is.
There's something there.
Yeah, definitely. I like the idea of combining this one with the one of the window. Let's see. I can try and do something here right away. Okay.
Or even drop down that smoke below the windowsill.
Yeah.
And then move it to the back so it gets clipped by the window.
Send backward.
Or you'd have to do it with layers.
Or
just perfectly position it,
yeah, I can just... Let's see. Okay. Okay. It doesn't want to play nice. Let's see.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like this could work.
Yeah, doesn't look bad. Let me see.
And it's something like, your journey is just getting started, or
yeah, so an issue with combining stuff, it has to be, we can put stuff inside of it, but it can't be too small, because remember when we put it here, it's gonna be kind of the size is gonna be kind of reduced. So let me put this a little bit smaller and see.
Oh, sure.
No, that's good. Let's see. Yeah.
That's actually not too bad.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's reposition it here.
Get started on your journey to the stars. It's so close. Like there's something there.
Yeah,
like throwing darts.
Yeah, you can see the rocket clearly, even if you're zoom out. Let's see. Okay, not this.
No, that's a.
Yeah, not like this. Okay, here. Yeah, it looks good. Okay. We have a potential winner. Let's take this away.
Yeah, and we could always change up, like, if we wanted to make the guy a little smaller so we could make the window bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah, once we see how it looks on, especially the smaller screen devices.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe we can even take this girl as well. I don't like...
great idea. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like only having, like, one... Like only the guy. I like to like combine them together and they are looking like 2 point of view, right? because she's
Yeah.
like on the right side and he's in the left. So
Especially like in open source, you're not doing this alone. You're
Exactly.
doing it together.
exactly.
So many analogies.
You see, it's all planned. What's the name of this one? Server status.
I think we're finding our calling. What we need to be doing is making a motivational app.
Yeah. Let's see here.
Ooh, a lot of stuff going on in that one.
Yeah. I actually like this, but then it doesn't make sense that you have a window like outside in the dirt. So no. Let's just take the.
Yeah, if we could just pull her out and put her probably just on the other side of the window, I think the eye line will match up pretty nicely.
It's something else is selected. There you go. Let's group this. There she is. Now let's bring her here. Maybe here. Let's put her the same size. Let me line her up with him. Ungroup. Ungroup. Okay. So. Okay. Why is this guy like? Is this the shoes or something? What am I selecting?
Yeah, I don't know.
You see how big it gets?
Right.
Yeah, I think the shoes have a shadow or something like here. I don't know. Let's group it. And now I can just select her, select him, and okay. I need to select him as a point of reference. And
or just say go up instead of go down. Like a line to top instead of line to bottom.
Yeah, true. Line to... Oh, see? That's why you have to do this together. Nice. So, let's see. Yeah, look. Oh, nice. I almost had it the same size. Where is
it's okay if they're different heights, because humans are different heights.
True. There you go.
Cool.
Yeah.
So I wonder how that looks now. Because obviously this is going to be a little wider.
Yeah. Let me see how far she is. 57. And how far is he? Okay. This big thing is getting annoying. 117. 79. Yeah, that's good. She doesn't need to be like the same distance. It's all right. Group.
Yeah, we can always, if this does end up being a little too wide, we can move her in, and you could play with basically, is it perception? But basically, you can change her position, make the avatar smaller, but it'll just look like she's closer to the window, or make him bigger, so it looks like he's farther away, and then you can kind of condense him down.
Yeah, true.
So that's going to be a little wide, yeah.
Let me see. I want to put it in reference to the one we already have. So the size of this one has to be kind of the same width of the other one, or height. Let me see. So what I try to do is like at least the height has to like match, right? Because then it's gonna look like this one, even if it's starting in the same position, this one is gonna look like it's lower, right? So
yeah, I was just looking up to see how I've got that page mocked up
here. So this is the bottom part of it. Okay, there. Let's come over here. Okay, there you go. Let's see. Okay, so 11. Okay, that works. Let me just put it here and try and center it now. And let me come over here and move it to the top. Now I need to recolor this part over here.
Oh, yep. Good catch.
Yeah, because this line blends with our background now. So let's put this color. And
oh, that's the line. When you were
yeah,
dragging and selecting, that's what we were getting.
Yeah, true. But I feel like it's too wide, as you said, because now it seems like it's, too crowded. So maybe we can move this line more to the center.
The lady can definitely overlap the window. Like you could slide her.
Oh.
Like, I think maybe it's a little, or maybe just change the hair color, because the hair color kind of bleeds into the night sky.
Solved. Okay.
No. But even like right there, it's pretty good. Yeah. Or if you just go a couple shades lighter on the hair, or maybe make the space background a couple shades darker.
Okay, wait.
Blue.
Oh, maybe we can make it.
I'm sure you could go brown.
Yeah, brown. Let me just work with the colors I have over here. Oh wait, I have my palettes on the assets here. Assets. Where are my assets? What's happening? Okay, here. Library. Okay. Oh, nice. See, we got colors. Okay.
Nice.
Let's see which one. You said brown. Yeah. Nope. Definitely not. Nope. It has to be like a brownish. Let's see what other color we have here. I think this one works, no? Let's see. No, I kind of get lost. So it has to be like something like this. Maybe white.
Oh. What was the shade right before the white?
This one.
Like that one. That kind of works.
Yeah, it's like this. Oh. Okay, maybe these colors over here. This shade kind of work. Oh, maybe this one.
Ooh, yeah. Perfect.
Yep.
I like that.
Nice. Okay. So we can maintain her there, right? And then we can maybe here. And then
and I think we could even do the same thing with the guy. Slide him closer to the window.
Yeah, I want to like slide up. Okay, he lost his foot.
No.
Let's select everything. Group. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like there. I don't know why they had him like so far, but then again, it's designers, so probably they have a reason. For us, it makes no sense, but okay. Let's see. Let's center this. Is it centered?
And also, is that a plant growing out of the ground inside? Because they're looking. That's definitely space outside where we're blasting rockets. So that window tells me that they're inside.
And they have. Let's see the original. Plant. Why? What was the original? Because I recolor it. Maybe that was like. Okay, where is it? What was the name of that one? Oh, this one. Starry window.
Yeah, there's still that plant there.
But you see, he has. Maybe that's a shadow. That's his shadow being cast on the wall. Kind of.
Maybe. I don't know. I think we can get rid of it, and
Yeah.
I don't think we lose anything.
No. We're already green with this one, so.
Yeah. GitTrends goes green.
Yeah. Group. Group. Yeah.
Right on. Should we slide that horizontal floor over?
Like this. Oh.
I mean, I know it's more of like an abstract concept just to say there's a floor there. But, or do we even need it? Without that, I kind of feel the need for a shadow.
Yeah. Yeah. Because the line makes you realize this is like a wall.
Right.
So if we take the line out, it's like something is missing. Like
Yeah, it's like a
they
void.
feel like they feel like they're like in the air.
Like,
maybe we can just put it, or maybe make it longer. Yeah. Maybe stretch it. Okay. Stretch it. Hey,
that's weird.
can you stretch? Trying to stretch it and the line keeps getting smaller.
Like literally the opposite.
Yeah. Maybe there, or do you want me to cross it all the way here? Let's see.
I didn't think I would like it all the way, but I do like it all the way.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if we can raise the line up a couple pixels.
Oh.
Whoa.
Okay. It's transforming the line. There you go. Like here.
Yeah, I think that looks good. Because what I was just thinking, like, nobody goes toe to toe with the wall.
Yeah.
Like, if you're looking out a window, you don't get, like, right up.
Yeah, I think this one works. Yeah.
That looks natural. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's see. I want.
Yeah, shrink that a little bit.
How far is this from this? Little trick here. Because I know the line is not gonna be like, hey, from this point of the line to this is gonna be that. So let's do it easier and just put another line here. So 52. Mm, 21. So 52 and a half. 26. Yep. So maybe put it to 26. Wait, let's do it easier. 26. Huh. Oh, nice. I got good eyes. So now we just need to group everything and center it, and we're gonna see how it's gonna look now in the app.
Sounds good.
Group and take away the line. Center this. And yeah. Wait, what is this? Oh, this line went to the back. Maybe when I
the rest of the
grouped
window.
Yeah. When did we lose it? Oh, here is when we lost it. So when I grouped, I forgot to select the rest of the window. Group. There you go. There you go. And let's see if this still matching with this. Yep.
I think that looks pretty good.
I like it. We can probably use that. Yeah.
Do you want to see what it looks like on the dark background?
Oh yeah.
I wonder how much space.
Yeah, let's copy this. Alt. Okay, let me take this away.
Oh. Okay, better than I thought.
Yeah. Does it look that bad? Yeah, it works. I think it works. Let me put this matching with this. Tops. Let's see.
I wonder if we should do a border around the window. So what's hitting me now is like on the light theme, it's almost like it's a white wall. And then on the dark theme, it doesn't feel like you're in a house anymore. Like it just doesn't feel like a...
Yeah.
You lose the sense that it's a window.
Yeah.
And so I wonder if that same color white that's doing the cross, whatever that's called, on the window,
yeah,
if we could just trace the outline of the window with that color, or give it that as a border.
Ooh, nice. See? Interior design, brown.
That's right.
And we can increase the size of this. It's like 4. Oof.
Oh.
Hey, we should have been...
a rocket. You gotta update the smoke.
Oh.
Or raise it up.
Let's see. Oh, yeah, you need to raise up the rocket now. See? We can be interior designers.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Nice. So now I can just group this and copy it to this side because we're lazy. I'm not redoing that. Actually, I can redo it because it was not that big of a change. It's just pop, pop, pop. So let's recap what we did. We basically selected the window. Things that this is an SVG. All of these objects you're seeing in this image, we can modify. So what I basically did is I selected this window, right? The shape of the window. And here you can see the properties. We notice right away that the border property is disabled. So that tells us we can just enable it. And probably we're going to get the effect Brandon was talking about. Let's make like a border around the window and give it the effect of like the same color. So after that, you can just come here, use the color picker, select the color of the frame of the window. And once we did that, we noticed that the border was kind of thin. So using our magic numbers, remember, with frequency of 4, right? I forgot my English. Yeah. So by by frequency of 4, I immediately put a 4 here. If I wanted it a bit bigger, I will increase this by 4 again, and I'll say like 8, and just keep testing like that. But so far 4 works fine for us. And after that, we came here and we updated the rocket as well. We put it higher so it matches the border here. And yeah, we have our window and it looks great now in light theme and dark theme. But I feel like, you know, this little green next to the line gave it like a little bit of, I don't know.
Should we find one that has like a potted plant?
Yeah, we could probably find a plant. Like add a pot. Let's see.
Because that was the only weird thing for me. It was like, why is that plant growing out of the ground?
Growing out the ground,
inside.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, here's a little pot.
Yeah.
Let's see. Maybe this one.
Oh yeah, I like that one next to the computer monitor.
Yeah, this one looks nice. Oh, I don't need to download it. I have the plugin. Yeah, I think we can use that one.
For just a second, I need to run to the bathroom.
No problem. I'll keep updating the SVG. Responsive. So yeah, we found a plant we like. So I'm just going to go here to the onDraw plugin. Let's see what's the name of that SVG. So the name of this one is responsive. So let's search it here in the plugin. Let me just check the chat and see if we have any questions. Oh, I see we have Faisal in the chat saying hello. Hi Faisal, welcome. Nice to have you here again. So yeah, right now we're just creating the image resource for our start tracker, and we're basically creating the image we're gonna use, right? Just piecing together different illustrations. So taking stuff we like from different ones and just making what we need for our start tracker. The only thing that's left is we said, well, if you notice here in the dark theme, in most of the other empty states, we have a little color, right, that gives like a life to it. So right now, if you notice all the designs, they have like a color that pops, or like this green, and makes the end illustration look good in the dark theme. So I noticed, we noticed right away that once we did our custom SVG, all the colors are kind of dark. So there's something missing to make it like pop, right? So right away we said, okay, maybe let's find a little plant that we can add, and that's what we are adding now. Here's our plant.
There it is. Does it match his shirt too?
Yep, we need to change.
I think.
I'll try a different color for the pot because we have too much purple now. You see, the moon is purple. The t-shirt is purple. Everything is purple. So let's try this.
Oh man, when I stepped out just now, my wife just bought way too much Halloween candy. Has it all sprawled out in the family room because she's putting them in individual bags. So similar to the idea where like people put out a bowl of candy and say, please take one.
Oh yeah.
She's wrapping a couple pieces together and we'll put them out on the table and replace them. So like as you walk past, you can just kind of pick it up off the table. But
nice.
I just got really hungry, man. There's so much candy. This
time of the year, like Halloween is always like so tempting. You have to go out trick-or-treating with your young ones. You're like, make sure to take a few more candies so I can try them.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a good idea. We like in DR, Hispanic countries, and kids' birthdays, we do the little bags, as you're saying. Like we put the candy in, cool. And that's like part of the birthday. So when they cut the cake, they give you a piece of cake, and they also give you like this little bag full of different candies and like souvenirs. So yeah, that's a good way of like dealing with a lot of kids and giving them candy equally.
Yeah, we figured it's a way like we could just set up a folding table out on the sidewalk, put those on there, and then we can still hang out on the porch and we can wave to people and say Happy Halloween. Yep. And then as needed, we can go back out to the sidewalk and replenish the table.
Yep.
So hopefully we'll still get some trick-or-treaters.
Yeah, and it's also safe for them. But yeah, it's a really good idea. Yeah.
You're literally supposed to wear a mask on Halloween.
Exactly.
If we're gonna get one holiday out of this pandemic, it's got to be Halloween. Like, come on.
Exactly. So what do you think of the plant? I'm not hating the purple anymore once I put the appropriate size to the pot. I like it. Oh, maybe I can like let's steal some colors from some of the other designs. Let's see, what are they using? Maybe this color? No, never mind. Just leave it like that. That looks good.
Yeah, I think it's fine. I think if we were going to get less purple, then I would advocate to change the guy's shirt.
Yeah.
Because if the moon's purple and the potted plant is purple, you won't really notice it if the guy's shirt isn't purple. But all that being said, I'm good as is.
I'll try and imitate the girl we already have here. I'll just put, yeah, GitTrends, our GitTrends green. I mean teal. That's good.
I think so. I mean, it's the same color as the plant. I don't know if that's a bad thing or not.
I mean, here we are doing the same as well. Let's see. I think the purple stands out more now.
Yeah, it almost looks a little futuristic too. It's almost like they live in the future. Like she's got her silver hair, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I like it. We can leave it like that for now. If someone wants to do a PR to update this image, you're welcome to.
Always.
Let's take this out. I'll copy this. And that's the good thing of using like the planning ahead and using the same resource for light theme and dark theme, because if not, we will have another work ahead of us, like just changing all the colors to make it fit the dark theme. But this one, yeah,
dude, like I love dark theme. I basically do dark theme everything by default, and as a consumer, I love it. But as an app developer, man, it's hard because I don't think the average user doesn't realize that now every app basically has to have 2 UIs.
Yep.
And like you basically now have 2 apps you have to manage, and that is, it's not easy.
So I noticed this looks like chipped, so I'm trying to because you see how it looks. Then it's gonna be like, oh, we're gonna get a 1-star review. They're gonna be like, hey, so you have everything in high resolution. Why is this empty state like pixelated, right? We're gonna be like, okay, dude. So
I guess the pot is transparent. Like it's weird that you can see the plant through the pot, right?
Yeah, is that you see the bottom line of the pot doesn't really align with the end of this, like the bounding box of the pot doesn't align correctly with the end of the line, because the end of the line, his bounding box is a little bit bigger, right? So that's why I had to like resize it a little bit.
And that's probably fine, because again, like the pot will be, if this is a wall and a floor, the pot will never be directly flush against the wall.
Yep.
Like thinking about it in like a 3D space.
Oh, so maybe we can put it a little bit
like drop it into the floor a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe there.
Put it whatever.
Yeah, that's okay. This is the point where you're doing like mockups and stuff, and you say, okay, enough is enough. Let's get over this.
Good enough.
Yeah, that's good. Let's group this, and yeah, we have this already. So should I export it immediately?
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, do you have the star history UI branch checked out? Because you could probably just pop that sucker in.
Let's see.
I mean, if not, you could always
I believe I
send me the image, and I could do it. But
let's see. I think I'm still in that branch. Yeah. Where's source tree? Here it is. Yep. Oh, which branch do you say? I'm using fixed referring sites empty state.
It's called star-history-ui.
Star.
Oh, there it is. Right above your mouse.
Oh, here. Okay. Where is the history of this? So let me do a stash quickly. And so this is the good thing of having this version controlled, and working on this document as well, because even our Adobe XD project is version controlled. So we can just keep everything tracked there and see how the project evolved. Okay, so now I just need to do git. Let's see if this updated.
Nah. And you can see in the commit history where I said, add GitHub API status.
Oh yeah. Let me git stash pop. And okay, I'll stop doing commands so people don't say, hey, he's just using the terminal, so we say that he knows how to use the terminal. So add it. Actually, let me export it and everything, and then I'll do the commit, because then I'll have to do 2 commits for it.
Yeah.
Export selected.
Oh, so something we forgot last week, and keep going. You have to pause anything, but we added the files and we overwrote the previous images that we replaced, but we never updated
the code,
the C# project. So when I went to just build the app was like, I can't find this old image that you deleted. It's like, oh, that's right, because like for iOS, we have to go in the assets folder and add it there, and then Android, you just have to add it to the CS proj. But that's totally forgot to do that last week, and like at the end of the show, just like committed all the changes, like pushed it to master.
Wait, and we didn't generate the iOS ones, I think, right?
Yeah, I went back and created all of them and fixed the build errors, so everything was good. But I totally forgot to do it. Totally forgot we needed to do it.
Yeah, don't worry, we'll do it on this one as well. So, what is this one gonna be called? How are the other one called?
Yeah, I was about to say, let me see what we called the other ones.
Okay, let's take this one as a base. Anti-traffic chart. So let's put
empty star chart.
Yeah. Empty star chart. Export. Good. Now let's export for iOS. Selected.
Yeah, so for iOS, because these go into the assets catalog, I just exported them to my desktop.
And then you added them directly. Okay.
Yeah, it's just easier because if you look at, like, if you click on the folder, you can see it. But you have to go into like the assets catalog, and then the iOS assets catalog automatically generates a contents.json file. And I was like,
yeah,
it's going to be easier if I just do this in Visual Studio for Mac.
Yep. Let me add it here to my local icons. There you go. So this is called, let me reuse this, star chart. Go to GitTrends, empty star chart, iOS. Yep. Export. Good. So now I can just go to Visual Studio. Yeah, we need to include them in the CS project.
Yeah, so I think for Android, I just went to each drawable folder and just said add existing file. I think that was good enough.
Yeah.
And then iOS, jumping into the asset catalog and doing it that way. Hey,
yep.
I see you just updated Xcode.
Oh god. Yeah. And the Android is also
there's Android R.
Except
we'll need Android R eventually.
It's downloading there, but that doesn't matter. Let's go. Okay. Close this. Android. Resources. Durables. Add 16 files.
This is the enthralling part.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Do I still have... I think I still have the... what you call it? N factor? I know I had to reactivate my license, but I don't know if I did it. Like put the license key in. So let's just do it like this, and for Friday I'm probably gonna have that set up. Because with nfactor we can probably just include them all together. Don't need to go folder by folder.
That's cool.
Wait, what?
It made a subfolder.
Okay, give me a second. Let me. Goodbye. Okay. Okay, let's see why it created that subfolder. Trouble.
I think XD created that, or at least that was my guess when I saw it.
Because I selected the image, right?
But
so
look
why
at
is
it.
it?
So
Oh, keep this file. Okay. So there's an option that says keep this file in its current subdirectory. Nope. I want to
right. But if you
add a
look
link,
at
add a link to the file. No. Let me see the
but yeah, if
file.
you drill into the folder, because if you, I think what XD did was it added it to the wrong. It didn't add it to the existing folders.
Let's see.
I think it created a new folder.
Yeah, but if we see it here in source tree, you see the. Well, let's see. Let me zoom in.
Yeah, zoom in.
You see the path?
Yeah, the path is all wrong.
It says.
So it's
yeah,
everything went inside of the trouble HTTPI folder.
Maybe I selected it wrong when I exported it. Yeah. Okay, let's go. Version control, GitTrends here. Let's see.
So it's all in the drawable-HDPI folder. And then in drawable-HDPI,
oh, yeah.
5 folders?
Oh my gosh.
So,
okay.
There's your problem.
Goodbye. Yeah, my bad. So let's see. Let's try this again. Export, select it. And version control, GitTrends. You see, this part of the job consumes so much time, and you're literally not coding. You're just organizing assets.
so much time. Oh, wait. Change the name.
Yeah.
Save as.
So that's I know why. Because I went here to change the name.
To get the name, yeah.
And then I forgot to change the folder back. That's the issue. See? Empty star chart. Okay. Now it should work. Wait. No, I did not select the Android setting. What is happening? Okay, Android. Resources. Empty. I'm not even gonna copy the name. Empty star chart. And let me erase what I just added here. U3. Goodbye. Get out of here. Thank you. And Android. Everything is good. Good. Let's see source tree. Perfect. Okay. So
now we can add them.
Now we can add the file. Existing files. Empty star chart.
Empty stars.
There you go. Let's go here. Add empty file. Existing file. Drawable LDP. Empty star chart. There you go. Add empty star chart. I'm missing a few here. Mm-hmm. Empty star chart. I tell you, you have to have so much patience with that. I love Infractor though, because he even like generates everything from like you can just make it one size, like one, like how do you say it? Like 1024 times 1024, right? And then you use that file to generate all the assets, and Mfractor is gonna like resize them to your size. Or let's say you know already what's the size because of this. It's gonna scale it up and down with no problem, and put it inside the folders and include it. So yeah, shout out to Mfractor. They save me so much time.
That always worries me though, man. Because then you're gonna get pixelation. So, because there's other tools like if you heard of the Resizetizer, it's basically a way. It's made by John Dick, and you can just place an image in your .NET Standard project, and then the Resizetizer will do everything we're doing now. Like it'll scale it up and scale it down. And so it's a great idea, but I don't want my images to look pixelated, and that's always my big concern. So I'd rather do it the slower way, like we're doing here, where you have the SVG and then you generate the sizes manually, because I can control that.
Yeah.
Whereas,
true.
As much as I want to take the shortcuts, it's like, this is something we do once. It's not.
Yeah.
Like if every day I had to go and like resize images, then like screw it.
Yeah, true. Projects. Where did I put it? GitTrends. And there you go. Okay, so this is 1x. This is 2x. Hey, it looks nice, even in a miniature.
Cool.
Yep. So anyone watching, if you want to do like commission for xamarin icons, you can reach out to us.
No pixelation.
Yep. HD quality. Let's see. Content. Yeah, I think everything is there now. We have the other C project.
If you jump to the code, we can test it out real quick.
Oh, really? Okay. Let's go here.
Yeah. So in the GitTrends project, and then inside of there, there's pages. Inside of there, there's trends. And inside of there, there's going to be the star chart, trends page.
Nice.
And see that empty traffic chart? Just change that to empty star chart.
Ooh, nice.
And then we run the app, and if you're like me, you've got a bunch of repos with 0 stars, so we'll just tap on that one.
Let's go here, put this to iOS.
But yeah, this is that base trends content page I was talking about earlier, where if you just pass in the empty data view, and I have those abstract methods that are required called create chart view and create, I called it statistics layout, but that could, maybe we rename that to header.
Since I just updated Xcode, I need to do some installations and stuff. So maybe I can commit this and you can run it in yours. So we don't need to wait for this to install and everything. Let's see. Yeah, that's gonna take some time. So let me just commit this. Either way, I did the modification here, so you just only need to run it, and hopefully, since we're collaborating, everything is gonna be perfect, right? We are great engineers.
Yeah, what could go wrong?
Yep. Empty star chart, resources. Projects. Updated the I don't see the update I did here. Oh, I've not saved. Okay, there you go.
Yep, that'll get you.
Let's see. There it is. Updated the stars trend page. Empty data view. Resource. That's good. And yeah, ship it.
Right on.
Let's see. Did I push? Yep. Okay. So you should be able to see it now. If you share your screen, I can pull up your screen now.
I sure got it. All right. Share the screen.
There it is.
Yeah, just double check. Star chart. Cool.
Nice.
Let's see what happens. Look at all that. It's got the Android resources, all the different size images, content set JSON, iOS CS Proj. That should work.
Yep.
Just give it a minute to finish compiling.
Yeah, let me see how these installations are going here for the Xcode tools. Reload disable your iOS. Okay. Yeah, that's okay. Let's see.
Yeah, I always find it ironic that Visual Studio for Mac is like, it's like, XAML hot reload won't work. And it's like, that's fine. There's literally no XAML in this entire project. Yep. Like, you guys didn't just like do a quick search for .xaml before displaying that? Like,
yeah, I always laugh at that.
like that's totally cool.
Cool. Now my Visual Studio for Mac is updating. That's nice. Yeah.
Yeah, I updated mine while we were hanging out on making the new image.
Installing .NET Core SDK. Nice. So when is the day we're getting .NET 5? Just a refresher.
Good question, man. When I was doing the .NET 5 stuff for the GitHub API Status NuGet package, I just ended up going over to Visual Studio on the PC. So I've got my trusty Parallels desktop here. And let's stop this. I'm not sure what's taking so long, but let's because I did just update Visual Studio, I want to clean out those bin and obj folders. So it's just a script that deletes your bin and obj folders.
Oh, and now that I'm seeing your file finder, now I remember that you are in the beta of yeah. Has everything still stayed good, the same? Have you found any new issues with it or no?
Everything's good now. The Android emulators did not work great at first, but they've fixed those. So as long as you have, if you go to your Android SDK manager and make sure everything's up to date, should be good to go. Why am I getting yelled at?
Metadata file. Oh, maybe I clean and rebuild.
Build successful. Come on. Give us something good to end the show on.
Yep.
Hey, I just want to leave on a high note and then go eat candy.
Yep.
Because I'm an adult and I don't need to wait till Halloween to eat candy.
Exactly. I can go buy my whole bag of candy and just binge watch a series with it. because that's what adulting is like. So, well, at least we have the empty stars. I mean, yeah, 0 stars, empty state. I think we could spend the last few minutes of the show thinking on what are the phrases we can use for both empty states, because I can work on the 1 star illustration and have it for Friday.
Okay.
And the header, I can make probably some proposals for that as well. Because it's not. I mean, we said at the beginning we kind of like that one. Maybe we can try a different, like a second proposal. But I think we have a good, like we're going in the right way so far. Maybe we can tweak a little bit more, but I'll make another proposal for Friday, and we can see it like in the first 5 minutes of the show, and go straight to the coding of it, of what we have left there to like add the phrases and add the header.
Yeah, and the phrases, like whatever generic motivational stuff, like keep up the great work. You can do it.
Yep. Let me start writing some proposals here.
Like, what would you kind of say to somebody who is new, or maybe to, like, if you're trying to encourage a child or something like that? Just
yeah, because it could also be like keep up the good work, but also we could like give them advice on like, hey, if you maybe share a tweet with this repo and something like that, like
share it with your friends and family.
Could we maybe add a button to share?
Oh, that's an interesting idea.
Like, you know how some apps, when they tell you, hey, share this in Twitter or like something like that, and maybe when they press the button, they can get, like the text in their... I mean, Xamarin Essentials has a share function we can use. And basically that triggers an intent, and they're going to have all the apps pop up, right? All the apps that can share text. And we can maybe do the text and even tag GitTrends on the text. So maybe if they press Twitter, the text can be like... So in the app, we could say like, hey, you have your 1st star, keep up the good work. Here, here is a button for you to keep sharing your repo with others. And then when they press it, it will, and they select like Twitter, let's say, the text could be like, hey, I have been working on this repo, and we put like the repo name. And I just noticed I have my first few stars. Go and show some love or something like that. And then we can put like hashtag GitTrends or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah. So I just found a bug.
Oh, really?
I added the children to the grid, and I put the empty data view in before the chart.
Oh.
So it was never going to show up. But now, no traffic yet.
Nice. Traffic yet. Hey, we did a really great job with that illustration. Look how nice it looks.
It looks really good. And and something I'll have to start working on is there's a lot of logic that's being shared, because both these are using the same view model. So that's why the words no traffic yet still show up here, because it's just binding. So yeah, it's just bound to the one empty data view title. Because we haven't created the second one yet. So that's on the to-do list.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that resource we have is a really good start for the star tracker empty state, for the 0 stars. Now we just need to give it a title and just motivational text. That's something I can recompile as well, like a list of texts we can put. Maybe we can spend the last minutes thinking about what could we put on the top, so that way when I do the proposal, I have like kind of an idea of what we're thinking about that.
Here, I'll stop sharing then.
Yeah. Let me come here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm totally cool with what we have in the mockups, because I don't know. The only other thing other than the text saying the total number of stars, the only other thing I can think of is something like you've earned 10 stars in the last 10 days. But that's going to be a lot of work, because like
so maybe you're saying something like this, right? Let me get an image here. So I think you're trying to reference, like how some sites, let's say analytics sites, they have this. Let's see if we can see the image bigger. Open image in new tab. So I think you're talking about this percentage here, right? That's what you're saying. Like, okay,
yeah,
in the next 2 weeks, you got like 10 more stars. So let's say we're comparing 2 weeks, right? Well, periods of 2 weeks. So 4 weeks we're comparing, but the first set has two weeks and the second set has 2 weeks. So in those first 2 weeks, you got, let's say, 5 stars. And in the next 2 weeks, you got 10 stars. So your gain in stars changed by 100%? No, 50%? And then you can like put the percentage here and see how much is like varying. But that will be a lot of like, is it really needed?
Right.
Do we really want to go there?
Because we also added all that logic to do like what's the default zoom for the chart. And so like the chart starts out zoomed in because who cares what you got 10 years ago? You want to see the latest month or so.
Yeah.
And so we'd have to incorporate that data alongside this, let's say, analytics data. And really, like, I can look at that chart right there that we're seeing here in the webpage, and I can see it's spiking up.
Yeah.
And then we already have the functionality. Like, you can tap and drag to see the exact value. So, like, I don't know. It's an option, but I think it's a little bit of overkill. Maybe that's like not version 2.1, but maybe a version 2. I'm sorry, not a version 2.0, but maybe it is a version 2.1 where we've got everything in place and we're looking for some enhancements to add, try to get some more engagement. I think that's something that like we can keep in our back pocket, but
true.
If we do our job right, you should be able to glance at the graph and understand exactly what's going on. And you shouldn't need any text. You shouldn't need a increase by 10%. Like
exactly. Yeah, definitely. So I think the second thing we should look at is how are we feeling about the position of the tabs? Because I know if we go back here when we were talking about that in one of the past sessions, here we were thinking about, okay, so maybe the tabs can be over here, or they can be over like on the right, like on the left side after the chart. So what are we thinking there? Should we keep it in the center on the top, or maybe put it to like the left?
Let me show you, because if you switch to my screen, I can show you what it looks like right now. And I didn't even add the tabs in, and I think it looks fine. So we have the indicator view at the bottom, letting us know what page we're on.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Are you sharing my screen?
Yep. Yeah, we're seeing your screen now.
So this is what it looks like today, and if we go to something with actual data in it, then we get this. And my question was, I was actually thinking about, what if I flip these positions, like put the indicator in between the header and the chart. There we go. That. Why am I still getting yelled at? Or is that going to build? So I hadn't tried this yet. I expected. What am I missing?
The comma.
Oh, the comma.
Yep.
Thank you. Jeez. Okay. So basically moving up that indicator to be in between. So it's less easily missed. Because I think if it's at the bottom, we add this as a new feature and a lot of people might not see it. Yeah. So if we had the tabs at the top, then it's like in your face, like, hey, we've got a new chart.
Yeah.
I don't think we need to be that in your face. And the only reason I'm advocating against the tabs is we lose screen real estate. And so the chart's going to become smaller or the header is going to become smaller. And
true.
On this iPhone 12 Pro, there's enough screen real estate to deal with that. On the Pixel, there's enough screen to deal with that. But on the smaller devices, yeah, and like we went through all those problems with smaller devices.
Yeah,
earlier.
I remember.
And so I always try to keep those in the forefront now when we're making changes like this. So let's see. Oh man, don't crash. Well, found a bug. I guess I should read the stack trace. Oh, I stopped it before I got the stack trace.
Oh.
The debugger caught the crash and then. Oh, man. Moving that line of code is causing it to crash now? How?
What are we mixing? Row chart.
All I did was flip these rows. Well, we can still pretend like we ended on a high note. Anyways.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm thinking we could get away with just the indicator and then maybe there's something we do on the first load. Let's see what this crashes at least. Autofac. So this is whatever. I'll fix it. But
yep.
Yeah, what we could always do is I've seen this a lot in apps where the first time you launch it, they'll give you like a little sneak, like they'll manually they'll
like
manually
bring
move it like this.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Hey, just so you know there's something over here now. And that's only on like the first time so like the first time the user launches version 2.0 of GitTrends and the first time they go to see the chart, we'll give a little boop. They're like, hey, there's something over here.
That's actually really nice. Yeah.
And I think that combined with the activity indicator is enough to like, hey, there's something here.
Yeah, yeah.
And then we can keep our screen real estate, which is at a premium.
Yeah, so then aren't we gonna have like, let's see, look at this. Like I agree. Yeah, let's take this out. Goodbye. Now we can pull this back up to match. Okay. Take this out. Group this so it moves together. Group. Select this. Tops. So.
And so it'll expand to the bottom of those statistics as well, which I think it is right now. So.
Oh, so the indicator has to go in the middle, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's give it like 32 maybe? No, 24. 24. And this has in the app a rounded background, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we also need to see. Okay. maybe 36. Yeah, and this has like a rounded background here. So I just want to see how the line of the rounded background is gonna look next to the indicators. Like, so how much space do we need to give it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Send backward. Okay, so send backward is this and this. Okay. So something like this is what we have, right? Like this. The chart, you have it inside of this group. Let's do something like this. So yeah, something like this is what we have, right? So how much space should we give between this? Maybe this.
I mean, I don't think you need much. And my thought was just basically squeeze it in. Like, because there's already space between the chart.
So
16. I don't even know if we need to make space for it. I think it could just live in that existing empty space.
So something like this. So from here I have, let me see how much I have in the chart. 32. So okay, I'll give it what we initially had, and 8, 12, 32 and a half, 16. This is not perfectly 16 though. Well,
I just figured out
like
why the app was crashing.
Oh, what happened?
So, learn something new. You have to define the rows in the enum in the same order that you do them in rows.define. So, in this case, we have our statistics row.
You didn't put numbers in the enum?
Yeah, I mean, I just said like enum and then just define the values. And so the indicator was in, let's see, there was 3, so 0, 1, 2. So the indicator had a value of 2 in the enum. Mm-hmm. But then when I changed it in the grid and under rows.define, I moved it up to be the second row, which would be value number 1. And apparently the enum needs to be in the same order as your rows that you defined them. So,
yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Small inconvenience.
So instead of changing, because I know when I was doing some of the UI, instead of like moving the lines of code around in the grid define, just go to the enum and change the value of the enum, and that way you don't need to swap the code. You can just modify the end. Yeah, and that's gonna.
Oh, I had it backwards. Okay, I thought rows.define did that, but it's the enum that defines it.
Exactly.
Dang. Okay.
Yeah. So try it like that. Let's see. So I think, yeah, for me it looks like kind of smush between the header and the graph, but eventually when we see it now and you're in live, probably it's gonna look good. But in Adobe XD, I don't know, it's not quite working for me right now.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, we could always leave it at the bottom. That's not a big deal.
I know, but then I actually like what you said about moving it from the bottom, because you remind me about the small screen. So maybe there's a screen where that indicator is gonna get cut off. So we're probably more safe if we put it like after the header.
The way we're defining the rows, it would be the chart that gets shrunk. So that header and the indicator are both using an absolute grid length for their row
Okay.
And it's the chart that's just using star. So the chart will shrink
Okay.
on the
Okay.
smaller screen devices.
Okay. Yeah. Sounds good then. Yeah. We can try both ways, and if we see at the end on the bottom it works better, yeah, we leave that at the bottom.
Well, sounds good, man. Well, looks like we're a couple minutes over time.
Oh,
I gotta run. But
yeah. So, let's wrap up here. Let's see. Basically, today we got to define our empty state for the 0 stars, and we also polished what is gonna be the header for our star tracker page. We decided that just having the total and like a phrase actually works for us because we don't want to complicate it much right now for first release. And also we decided that we are no longer using tabs at the top. We're gonna just use the indicator and add a little notch, which is gonna make the app look like really cool, because it's gonna, the first time you enter to the trends page is gonna like move on itself. So I think that's gonna be something our users are gonna like.
yeah.
Brandon had that cool idea. So yeah, thank you everyone for coming again to our session and for sticking around with us and helping us define a bit more how these new features for GitTrends are gonna be. And Brandon, if you have anything coming up for this following weeks.
Nah, we'll just see you on Friday.
Yep. So see you all on Friday. Goodbye.